Hello guys, let's talk today about your Wyze Cam if they keep going offline. So here I have a solution for you, but I need to explain a lot of details here, all right? So if you're tired and you're searching for some information and you get always the same information, it doesn't work, here is a technical approach, right? So I have different cameras here, as you can see. I have the Wyze Camera version 2. Here's the Wyze Camera Pen version 3, the Wyze Cam version 3, and the old one, Wyze Cam Pen version 2 as well. So I have all of the cameras here. They're working pretty fine. I have firmware updates on the cameras and a lot of different stuff here that you can check and make the camera work, right? The problem is that usually you have just an approach to the camera that's something on the surface, right? You need to check technical stuff. Let's talk about technical stuff. If you're prepared to talk about technical stuff, it's not that hard. I'm gonna simplify it for you, but you need to keep watching this video, right? So here on my computer, I have some tools that I'm gonna show you. I have here a Mac computer, so you can use some tools here to check how you can fix the problem. And also here have another computer, so you can also check here on Windows. If you have a Windows computer, you can check here with some tools as well and make it work, right? So let me explain the basics. Everybody talks about the basics. If you come here to your camera, you need to connect the camera to the power and make sure that's well connected here. Okay, you did that already. I'm sure you did that already because everybody's talking about that, right? And then you need to check power, of course. Go to your outlet and check there with a multimeter or something if the power is good. I believe you did that already. You tried different outlets, it's still having problems. You can also update the firmware on the camera. I believe you already did that as well. So let's go more in deep here and understand what could be the problem and how you can solve it, right? So sit tight there and let's do some analysis here. Let me just bring my cell phone first to show you how it works. Okay, so basically here I have my Wyze Cam app, and then when I connect to my cameras, what happens is that my cell phone needs to connect to my router and get the image from the camera. Let's say the camera number 3 here, for example. There we go. The camera is here working. Okay, there's some latency. That's pretty normal. When I move my hand, you see some latency there because the camera is connecting to the Wi-Fi router and then needs to connect also to my cell phone. There's a communication between them here. So you need to be careful with the Wi-Fi communication. So let's talk about Wi-Fi, all right? So your cell phone uses Wi-Fi, your camera uses Wi-Fi. Let me just click here on this settings and come here to device info. Okay. So here you see that the camera is connecting to my Wi-Fi signal and here is the signal strength, right? I have 3 bars here. So first thing that I have to check is this. Do you have just 1 bar here? If you do, you have a problem, right? So you need to fix that. Either you need to move the camera close to your router or the router close to your camera or remove some objects there, and you can do other stuff as well. I'm going to explain technically what you can do other than that, other than move stuff back and forth, right? So here you see the signal. The network signal is this signal from my router. It's the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network. I use this name just to keep people away from my network, right? To scare people so they don't try to connect to my network. So if you have a different router, you can try to connect to a different router. But usually you don't need to do that, or you don't have a different router, so you need to do some analysis on the signal. I'm going to talk about that as well, right? So first thing here, I have the signal for the camera. Let me just check here for my cell phone, for example. If I come here to the Wi-Fi signal, just click and hold here, I see that I'm connecting to the signal. When I click here and hold, I see different signals that I can connect to. That's my signal for my Wi-Fi, and the other one here, Max 24, is also the signal for my repeater, right? So if you don't have a strong signal for Wi-Fi, your main router, you can use a repeater like I'm using just right here, okay? And I have another signal here That's 5G, so I named the signal 5G. So I know that I have 5G and 2.4. You see here for Max 24 is my repeater. And let me just find here Max 5G, my repeater with 5G. So the cameras use 2.4. Different cameras can use 5G, but this one can't. So you just need to use 2.4. We are okay here. And here for my cell phone, I also need to have a strong signal. But here with this Wi-Fi settings, for example, I have my cell phone connected to the signal, you see here, but I don't have many information here. So I don't really know how the signal is, right? The strength of the signal for my cell phone as well. So be careful with that. You need to have a good signal for your cell phone and also for the cameras. And let's talk about that, right? So let's get a little bit more technical. Let's come here to my computer. So here I have a Windows 11 computer, and here I have some quick explanation about Wi-Fi. So I have this article here because I'm an expert. I've been working with security camera like for 20 years. And I have some articles here that can explain some problems that you can have. Wireless, for example. Here you have my Wi-Fi signal. Let's say here I have my router, and the router has 11 channels. Okay, so I can select channel number 1, number 6, or number 11. I need to pick one of those 3 channels. Why? Because this is a representation of the signals. So I have channel number 1. You see channel number 2 is overlapping with channel number 1. It's the same for number 3, 4, and 5, right? So they're overlapping here. Number 2 starts here inside or in the range of the number 1. Number 2 as well it starts here in the range of the number 1. So to be away from the interference, I need to pick number 6 or number 11. Okay, so that's very, very important. That can cause a lot of problems. Let me just come here to my router so I can explain better. So here I have, let me just refresh this because I think it's logged out. If I refresh here, there we go. I need to log in again because some time here of inactivity. There we go, back to my router. I click here on wireless. Let's wait for it to load, and there you go, okay? So here, as you can see in my router, I have the 2.4 gigahertz signal, and here is selected to auto channel, which means it's going to choose any channel that the router wants, and current is the number 1, all right? And here I have the signal for the 5 gigahertz. That doesn't matter for our case right now because we are using 2.4 for the cameras, but the same way you see here the channel that I have selected here is 153, right? So back here to this article, you see here that I'm using channel number 1. If my neighbor here is also using channel number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, he's going to have some interference with my router here, with my channel number 1. So I need to check that. I don't know which channel they're using, right? Unless I have some tools for that, right? If you come here, for example, to this website, you can download this tool here. Then you can have some analytics and see the signal that you have there. So we're going more technical here, but just a tiny bit so you can understand that's just a tool that you can download for free. So if you come here to this website, there's a free version that you can download. So let me just come here so you can see. You click here to get NetSpot. You have some paid version. I don't do that. I just come here down and I get this free version, right? I download it and I install it for Windows 11. And I can also install here for my computer that's a MacBook Pro. There's also a version here. Let me just show you here that you can have this version as well here for Mac. If you come here, get it, and you come to download now, you see that's for Mac, right? And starts downloading here. So I have for Mac as well. So it's working here. Back here to the Windows version, I have it working here. There you go. So here you can do some analysis. Let me just start here from scratch so you can understand how it works. There you go. Okay, so let's find my signal here. See, I have a lot of different signals here for the neighbors. I have this Casa Felisa Gomes, for example, using channel number 11. Okay, I have mine signal here using number 1 channel. And for 5G, also using the channel 153. So what interests for me here is that I need to select my number 1 here. I need to compare my number 1 with the other channels here, the neighbors, for example, right? So take a look here. This Casa Felisa Gomes using channel number 11. If you see here, the level of the signal, it's pretty strong. It's green here and it's very strong. And mine here is number 1. It's a little strong, a little bit of strong, of course, because the router is close here to my computer. So that means I cannot use channel 11. Why? Because this Casa Felisa Gomes is using channel 11 already. So back here to this graph, I'm using number 1 and she is using number 11, right? Then I'm good to go because number 1 is far away from 11. I need to select number 1, 6, or 11. I cannot force my neighbors to change their channel, so I need to analyze their channel and I need to move mine, all right? So back here, let me just use this part of the tool, that's better so you can understand. So here, let me just select channel 2.4 gigahertz. That's the one I'm concerned about. And here I can check the channels, you see? Went away, and let me just see which one is missing here. I don't know. Here we go. There you go. So here I have the 2.4 gigahertz band. So we start with channel number 1, it goes to channel number 11, 12, or 13. Depending on the country, you're gonna have 1 through 11, right? Just like I show here on this article, right? 1 through 11. Here in the US, I'm using routers that goes from 1 to 11, okay? So back here, then I can enable the channels. Let's say Casa Felisa Gomes, right? She's using channel number 11. That's good. Because my signal here, if I come here to my signal, I'm using the channel 1. Then I'm good to go. If mine is here on channel 11 as well, I'm gonna have a lot of interference from this neighbor, right? Then what I have to do is come here to my router and change here from channel, let's say I'm using channel 11, then I change here to channel 1. It's very, very good, okay? That's the way to go. And let me check another one here, Max 24. That's my signal, you see? That's my repeater. If I connect my camera to my repeater, I'm gonna have some interference from this signal here because she's also using the channel 11. And that's a big problem. So every time I connect to my repeater here with the signal on the channel 11, I have some interference from the neighbor. And then my camera stops working. Right now, for example, I'm connecting here to this Max 24. That's not a good idea. Then I'm gonna have problems here, and then I'm gonna like to start messing up with firmware, with cables, and a lot of stuff. And my problem, it's not there. My problem is here in the signal, right? So I need to use, for example, for my cell phone, works good. I need to use this another signal here because I know back there on the screen, you see that I know that here I need to use this signal with it's on channel number 1, not channel number 11. So if you don't have an extra repeater or something like I do have here, you need just to change your signal for your main router. That's one that I'm using here on channel number 1, okay? So I'm good to go. It's the same with your camera. So if I come here to the camera, let me just come back here to the cameras, and now see that I'm using this network, okay? That's the good one to go. If I have a repeater that's that have some interference, I need to avoid it. So here I'm connecting direct to the router, which has good signal, and it's in the channel number 1, okay? So let me just come here to my MacBook Pro so I can see the tool also working here. So it's the same thing. You see, you can check here the signal, And you can also see that I have different channels here with different signal strength. And here you can also check that I have different channels. Here on Mac works a little bit different. I don't see the channel here on the top. I don't know why when I select them. It's just a little different from the Windows version, but works the same way, okay? So guys, that's the way to go. You just use the tool, you select here, and you check, let me just check more one here. I have this guy here, for example, Silva, right? Silva is here, just in the middle, okay, using number 6. So I can't use the channel number 6. Sometimes other neighbors are also using channel number 1. Of course, you cannot control them, right? But you need to pick the signal that has like less interference as possible. Let's say you have a neighbor with number 1, but the signal is like pretty weak because it's far away from your home, then you can pick number 1. So you need to select here. You can't do this. Here, for example, I have exactly the same channel with a lot of interference. Look at her signal, it's stronger than mine. So I'm not good here with the other signal here for my repeater. I'm gonna change that. Of course, I'm gonna change that so I have a better signal here, okay? So guys, that's the way to go. So when you have your Wyze camera here having some interferences, some problems, they're not connecting or they are having problem all the time, you need to check that. Go a little bit more technical and you can fix the problem, okay? I know that's a long video, but I've been watching people talking about different stuff that doesn't solve the problem, okay? So you need to go a little bit more technical and you can fix the problem, okay? So I hope you like this video. Please subscribe to this channel, leave your thumbs up and your comments, and I see you in the next one.